Well, good evening, race fans, and a very warm welcome to you to Invictus Racing League's final race of the season for the F1 division. My name is Webbo, and it's a double celebration today. It's the final race of the season for Invictus Racing League, and it will be all week for the various divisions we have. And it's also my 150th race as a lead commentator. So, looking forward to this one, and do as Classified Splashy has done already and say hello to us, and make sure that we know who you're here to support. I'd love to see, obviously, a check-in from Abby, who's here for Burmeister as usual, I'm sure. And we're hoping to get ready for you very shortly. A little thin on the ground due to the seasonal time of year, I imagine, but I'm sure we'll still be racing hard. It looks like our main players for the places left in the championship are here to fight. Daniele, of course, Daniele Musso, our champion, was confirmed 2 races ago, but we're heading out to Mexico to settle once and for all the third place in the championship. Foxy has second, but between Max and Speed Queen there is just 9 points separating the two of them. For 5th place, there is only 4 points, 2 points separating Livingwall and a Costa, with Burmeister just 4 points further back. So Burmeister trying to get up to 6th, I would imagine. And in the Constructors' Championship, it very much looks like McLaren are just within range of Mercedes. If Mercedes have a bad night tonight and McLaren have a very good one, they could well get 2nd place in the championship. However, AlphaTauri are hot on the heels of McLaren, and we have what appears to be a 5-way battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th places. Alpine and Williams on the same number of points, then Red Bull 1 behind, Aston Martin 5 behind, and Ferrari 8 behind. So hi to Harry as well. Good to have you with us on the stream, and hopefully everybody will check in and let us know what's going on. I'm just going to check in with our drivers and see if we've got any kind of weather update. Not just yet. I mean, obviously it looks sunny for the start of qualifying at very least. So let's get ourselves organised. As I say, my name is Webbo. You can find me on Discord, PlayStation, Twitter, at WebboRed5. If you like what you hear tonight and you're interested in booking me for next season. I must also say a big thank you to our sponsors before we get our drivers out there on track, who make this race possible. Those are, of course, GT Omega, Nailcut Hall, and our partners are gridfinder.com and Driver 61. And we've got cars out there already. It looks like, is this an early outing for Burmeister? Yes, it is. And I think Nathan is out on track as well. Burmeister's car in this almost sunset Mexican light, looking slightly pink on the first camera angle we saw from him. But he's let Nathan on by. Nathan quite happy to clean the track for everybody else. Great. Matty confirms for me that it's going to be a fully dry evening of racing. Fairly typical out there in Mexico. But we're looking forward to seeing how the drivers tackle some very tricky sections of a racetrack, particularly this one. This middle sector is very difficult indeed. Well, Nathan already wiping out some marking boards on the exit of the S's, obviously struggling for grip as he warms the tyres. And one of Foxy's fans, should we say, has joined in already. Hi Charlie, who is making his early threats for Foxy. Foxy will be looking for another win, but I'm hoping to see a win from either Max or Speed Queen, who've been working the wheel furiously for 15 races through to today, and if they are very much due a win and a stroke of good fortune, and I hope one of those two can take home their first win in this season. So braking heavily into turn 1. It's a simple right hand, 90-degree right-hander, and then we have a switch back onto the second straight. Another long straight. They will have DRS here. And wait for braking for a 90-degree left-hander, followed by just over 90-degree right, and down towards turn 6, which is a double right-hander. Always important to get the car hooked up on those apexes, and then into this very tricky sector that catches the drivers out. Nearly every lap you'll see somebody trip over this sector. Pushing hard through there is Nathan, and he'll be hoping to try and connect this together in the stadium section through from turn 12, 13, 14, 15, now into 16 and the pelotada of 17, but he just cuts over the invalidation line and will go no better through that one. Burmeister has also managed to invalidate, but Tom Goproff has gone for a provisional pole of 15.494, got our first time in there, and there we go. Charlie says I shouldn't be cheering for Foxy. Well, I shouldn't be cheering for somebody other than Foxy. Well, I'm trying to remain impartial, and I feel like Speed Queen and Max, after their hard work this year, are well deserving of a win to finish off the season. But I'll be equally happy if anybody wins. Just want a good race on our hands and plenty of finishes, because we've only got 11 starters. So Martin through the second sector. He obviously purpled his first sector, just needs to keep this lap alive and should be doing better than the first 2 laps we saw out there. Martin driving for Ferrari, successfully navigating. It was very well taken penultimate corner. This is the pelotada and away to the line. Not hugging the pit wall as many drivers do. Medium tyres 16.7. Let's see how that holds up further down the list. We have a new fastest lap from Nathan, who did hook a lap up in the end. Second lap on those soft tyres. Into the stadium goes M. Doran. And away to the line. One of the things, and a 17.1. Little argument going on here to say about the argument between Speed Queen and Foxy that you may not have seen in the chat in Discord. It does appear that Speed Queen suffered a pitting glitch, and that's why she appeared to brake test. She definitely claims that she definitely did not make a brake test. But she did provide footage to respond to that. Livingwall goes in a provisional pole, a much faster time, 14.735. Nice one for Livingwall. Big Bambino, after a fantastic victory last time out, is on an invalid lap right now, but Max keeping the lap alive. So it looks like Foxy's fan club are here in force. I don't know, is Abby here? I haven't seen Abby say hello. Usually here to support Burmeister, of course. I would say that Abby has been the most devoted fan of any single driver this year. Scott says Abby isn't here. Wow. Everybody just confounding my my comments then. Max navigating the S is slightly distracted by a car offline, but getting the car rotated nicely as we break down into turn 12. Very tight through there. That was super close to running too wide. We're trying to get our current champion into the invites at the moment. We haven't managed to do it. Max up to P2, a great place for his first lap. That's a 15.184, and that will do very nicely. Big Bambino has got a purple first sector, but just for him, I think. Let's see if he can keep the lap alive. Hopefully racing with a little bit more confidence, although maybe slightly too heavy on the accelerator out of turn 6, sorry. Across the S's, looking quick. Big Bambino And sector time is a 56.343. Looking like we got the angle slightly wrong at turn 12. Apparently, I'm hearing then, right, so Abby is hibernating after engineering for the boys during the 24 hours of F1 over the weekend. Anyone had the final total on that? How much that raised for the charity concerned? Burmeister navigating without the help of Abby in the background today, it would seem. Maybe she'll join us further into the session. Burmeister getting the car into the stadium, looking tidy, looking pretty well in control here. Soft tyres on all the cars at this stage. And away to the line goes Burmeister, 15.8, a respectable first attempt and banker lap, but it is 1.1 seconds off the current pole by Livingwall. Tom goes second, 1:14.997, knocking on the door there, just getting into the 14s. And coming out of the pits right now is Speed Queen, but Matty trying to hook this lap together now. Matty to the line then, and it's P6, 15.772 for the Williams driver Matty. What's Foxy up to? I'm sure everybody wants me to watch Foxy, although Speed Queen is just starting her lap. So Foxy, he's over his time, so let's go and see what Speed Queen's up to. She can hook up the first lap. Tends to play it pretty cool in qualifying, Speed Queen, and I think we'll all hope that Speed Queen and Foxy do not get together on track tonight after the drama of the last race. Heavy braking down into turn 4. All looking good so far. Feathering the throttle into turn 9 and down to 12 now, right, very wide to straighten that corner as much as possible, taking very wide lines here in qualifying is Speed Queen, using the white line as a guide for her inside wheel rather than her outside wheel, and away to the line then, 15.418. Didn't bring the car into the pit wall, but sometimes if the car doesn't want to do it and it's starting to wash out, better to maximise the track width. Depends how the car is handling. Martin out there is just starting his next lap. So currently with 7 minutes to go, it's Livingwall, Tom, GoProf, Max, Nathan, Foxy, Speed Queen, Matty, Burmeister Martin, M. Doran and Big Bambino yet to set a time for us. Martin navigating the S's safely. You can absolutely tell this is the top division of racing because so many cars making these laps count through the S's. It's not an easy task. Car getting hooked up into the final 2 corners, looking pretty safe and away. It's a 15.547 for Martin. I think Livingwall is on a new lap, but has invalidated sadly. What about Max? He's going to get his first sector time very soon. See how he's getting on. So crosses the beam and he's faster and close to the 114s, and it won't take much if you get into the 114s to beat Tom, because Tom's right on the edge. Triple yellow flag there, not very helpful, but not too much concern. Max with a big piece of the turn 7 apex. He's got a good line going on through here. It's just about holding the car together, and he was comfortably within track limits gained ever so slightly, gained enough to get onto the front row. If he can just mirror what he's done before through this sector and then go for broke in the final one. Final run. It's 5 minutes to go. Max losing the car slightly. Did that cost him enough? No, it's a P2 for Max on a 1:14.893. Very nicely done from Max there. Martin is on an in lap, I believe. Maybe Doran is doing something a bit different. He's got Burmeister ahead, but he's going into the pits. So likewise here for Martin. I did see Burmeister just beginning a lap. Let's ride with him. Important to save the tyres for the second sector, really, in Mexico on these qualifying runs. And of course, these are the starting tyres for the drivers as well, so don't want to ruin them too much. Nicely through double right-hander of turn 6. Big welcome if you're just joining us here in Invictus Racing League. If you want to hear the championship standings and what we're fighting over today, just go back to the start of the video in between sessions, and you'll hear that. Effectively, though, McLaren trying to reach Mercedes in second place, and we've got a 5-way battle to sort out the lower placings, 4th onwards in the championship. So Burmeister to the line, a 1:15.513, no major improvement, just a minor improvement there. And we've got some outlaps started already. We've got Big Bambino out there, who will be first. Then it looks like it's Speed Queen or Tom Goprof. Well, both of them are in a line. Then we've got Nathan out on track. Michael reminds everyone to press the like button, please do, and we won't have to ask again if we can get equal likes to live audience or somewhere around there. And if you're watching back on demand, make sure you've liked the video, because we're trying to hit that 25 like metric if possible, please guys. Big Bambino then to start his very first flying lap with 3 minutes to go in the session. Drivers coming out on their outlaps right now. Speed Queen just starting her lap here behind Big Bambino. Unusual line really through turn 3. There's more than one way to skin the cat of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Slightly late on an upshift. And car turn round, and that's it. Out of the session for Big Bambino, unfortunately, wiping out. It was all or nothing, and unfortunately it was nothing. He will start from the back of the grid, P11, so running on those medium tyres. It's done absolutely nothing for him because he can start on them anyway. Speed Queen, slower than she's been before. Maybe she's on a charge lap. What's Tom Goprof up to? He is slow and has invalidated I should say, with Foxy out on an outlap. We've got an Aston Martin actually running right now. Let's watch Livingwall's attempt to better his pole time, because right now it doesn't look like there's going to be many drivers challenging that one. It looks like Speed Queen has managed to start her final lap, and Livingwall is slightly faster than he's been before, 0.038, and wipes out of that particular attempt. Unfortunately, I don't think Max is coming out again. I think he's staying in the pits. So Speed Queen, how's this sector for you? It's slightly over, but it's not a big problem. Let's see her teammate Tom, who has invalidated already, unfortunately, so won't be challenging this one. Can Speed Queen get further up the grid? Kind of fighting a lone battle at the moment on the track at its absolute best, but too much apex through the S's, and that's another invalidation through that famous second sector. What about Martin? Martin is going quite a bit slower here, but will get round to start his next lap, so he'll be safe. to run again. What's Matty up to? Slightly, very slightly slower than before. He has started this lap. He will get to run again, as will Martin. It appears that Martin will get to go. I think Tom Prof might as well, but he'll be on old tyres. Does he want to take the chance? I don't think he does. I think he'll have to settle for third place as Matty. A rare thing, a car successfully navigating the S's at this stage in qualifying, but he's slightly slower. He can just go for broke here through this one, this final sector. Can he improve from P10? He doesn't think so, and out of the session he goes. Martin has improved so far. Can he avoid these traps? Looking pretty smooth. Successfully through sector 2, and it is a tiny improvement, but possibly on target to move up one place and better the time of Burmeister. I think it's only Martin that will finish a lap here today. It looks like it's going to be Livingwall from M. Doran. M. Doran puts in a second place time, a 1:14.876, and just gets Max off the front row. So it's an all Aston Martin front row on the grid. Fantastic to see that one. Max will have a start on the clean side of the grid to go for his very first win of the season. But Livingwall commandingly gets P1. I think he could have had that twice tonight. Then M. Doran in second place. We've got Max starting in third. Mr. Consistency all year long, and just 1.5 tenths off the pace of pole. Then we've got Tom Prof in fourth. Nathan starts fifth, and Martin in sixth. Then Foxy for Mercedes, who are being hunted by McLaren, but there's only one car each for those teams tonight. It's a straight fight between Max and Foxy. And then Speed Queen in P8, looking to try and have a good night for AlphaTauri. Burmeister, Matty, and Big Bambino, last week's winner, starts at the back. Tom says he's got a 5-place grid penalty, apparently. And Scott's suggesting Foxy gets a race ban for blocking in qualifying. Well, Tom has got a penalty. Foxy is back on the old story about calling out drivers for brake testing. So I think Foxy is that's his favourite excuse at the moment. Everybody else is brake testing. Max wishes everyone good luck for the last race of the season. So it's a little bit of a better message to start the race, perhaps. I do hope you've enjoyed the season. If you want to suggest some questions for our any podium sitters at the end of the race, if they're available, do keep them under your hat, ready for when we get there at the end of the race. And if you've got any favourite moments or highlights of the season, do drop us a note or send us a clip on socials, and you can obviously find Invictus on Twitter. Most of everybody is connected to us all on Discord, but you can find me on Twitter at WebORed5. So Foxy and Tom have just said nothing we can do about the penalties and situations, and let's have a good race. So much healthier discourse going on. What are your predictions for the race? Who will we see up there on the winner's position and on the podium overall? Will McLaren put the large amounts of points they need to on Mercedes to get second place in the championship? Hi to Lowy, who joins us just as the race begins. If you're hyped for the race, do share the link on socials right now and tell as many of your friends as possible to come join us. And I'll make sure that you've subscribed to the channel, ready for the whole week of finales this week for all of our divisions. And of course, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll find out when our next season goes live. I've really enjoyed my first season here with Invictus. I hope you all want me back in future. So Lowy is an ex-driver. So let's hope that you can get yourself back in. And we should be underway for you very shortly. Just give all the drivers opportunity to resettle themselves, refocus. Thanks to Amir as well. I've not seen you speak up before, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, and to Scott, of course. Struggling on my own at the moment. I'm afraid Lightning is MIA, but we have had a great commentary duo going this whole season for F1 with Lightning around as often as possible. Very shortly we'll be underway for you. The countdown is coming down. Am I a driver? I am not a driver. No, nobody wants to see me drive, believe me. No, I'm very much a colour commentator, so that's my wheelhouse anyway. Amir says just scouting quali times and pacing the race. Oh, that's good. Good to do your research, of course. Yeah, good stuff. Many divisions of racing for you here at Invictus Racing League. And we will get our formation lap underway. I never understand why there are European flags waving in the grandstands in Mexico. You just a supporter of Europe in general? I don't know. Anyway, formation lap underway, and there's your all Aston Martin front row, a sight you rarely see. Tyre choices, obviously Bambino starting in 10th. Looks like Tom GoProf and Foxy have had their grid penalties applied, so Foxy will start at the back and will be doing an 11th to question mark challenge here today, with of course all the support, very vocal support he gets in his party chats with his fans. Big Bambino gets promoted one place and will start 10th, as I say, last week's winner, but he wiped out spectacularly in the S's in qualifying on his third attempt to set a time. Matty starts P9th in the Seoul Williams car. One of the more supportive comments we've had here for Foxy, who says from Harry there. Tom GoProf demoted to 8th, so we'll be fighting to score good points for AlphaTauri tonight. Of course, no points if you don't finish the race, and points on offer for the top 10. So it's a good day for being determined to finish a race. Burmeister in 7th, trying to race here with no support from Abby. Speed Queen trying to go for her first win of the season, as is Max, and that's what I'd like to see if possible. Martin in 5th. Nathan starts 4th in the Alpine. Max in 3rd, and the two Aston Martins. Livingwall on the outside, Doran on the inside, and we're about to get underway at our race, which is sponsored by Nelcut Hall, by GT Omega, Driver61 and Gridfinder.com. And we're very shortly going to be underway for you. It doesn't take long to get 11 cars into their grid positions. Too late if you don't get your predictions in before lights out. Here we go then. The final race of the season for F1 at Invictus Racing League, and away we go. A good start from both the Aston Martins, probably slightly better for Doran, who tucks in a defensive position, but Nathan trying to go around the inside here of Max, just losing out the final stage of acceleration, but he's got the inside line. Will Max give enough room at the apex? Yes, he does. In fact, Max looking for an opportunity down the inside. Contact between the McLaren and Doran, but Nathan surviving that run just about. So the Aston Martin's up ahead. Doran getting just slightly ahead of Livingwall, who has the inside line into turn 4, and away they go. And it looks like Nathan spinning through turn 4 and toppling down the order despite his care and attention through the early corners of the lap, and yet again Foxy making up so many places, half the grid in the first sector of the first lap. Tom Goprof has got past Speed Queen as well, who didn't have the best start. Max in third, Martin in fourth, under challenge here as they go towards the stadium. Martin on the inside, and will just try to hang out the AlphaTauri to dry, but too much speed from Tom Goprof. Back up to fourth, Foxy and Tom having a blitzer of a start. And M. Doran getting past Livingwall out there, just 0.6 in the lead. Then Max, Tom Goprof is here in fourth position with the Ferrari behind him of Martin. Foxy hot on the tail of the Ferrari as they head towards turn one with a long drag down there towards the corner and the braking zone. Martin looking lively in that braking zone, and also Max trying to make this a three-way battle at the front. I think Livingwall might have a go to get back in front, and Max is definitely on it. We've got Tom Goprof under attack from Martin. It's not quite enough, but Foxy throwing one up the inside, making contact, losing out on traction, but just holding the car. And good car control from the Mercedes driver, and good patient work as well, trying to keep the elbows in slightly. I think tonight Max is very close here. Tom Goprof pushing hard. He's already picked up the first penalty of the evening, but Big Bambino up 2 places, Burmeister down to 10th, and Nathan did in fact DNF in that accident, unfortunately. Martha is cheering on Foxy to hurry up because his dinner's ready. So it wouldn't be the first time I've commentated on a race where dinner has got in the way, but Livingwall has got past his teammate with a great piece of slipstreaming down at the start-finish straight. He needs to leave some room on the apex, but Max having a go around the outside of turn one. It becomes the inside to turn two. Max giving away a warning, I would imagine, to go up the apex, and now they'll go side by side all the way down the back straight until they reach turn four. Max just slightly ahead, taking the racing line on the inside, and Max up to second place, as I say, going for his first win of the season, if possible here for Max, but doesn't want to push these soft tyres too hard too soon, because they've got to wait, they've got to last until he can get to the pits. Max in second has got himself in the middle of the 2 Aston Martins who started on the front row. It's Livingwall, Max, M. Doran, Tom Goprof, Martin, Foxy. Speed Queen has now caught up to Foxy, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm rubbing my hands together with the idea that these two are going to be challenging each other. Martin was temporarily very close to Tom Goprof, but couldn't latch onto the back. It looks like we're going to have a DRS train all the way from P1 down there to P7 as they finally get DRS down the long back straight. I think Tom Goprof has perhaps got it, but Max is challenging for the lead into turn one. He's got the inside line. Livingwall leaving that racing room, but Max trying to sneak one up the inside. That's a sure way to get your nose broken if you're gonna risk it all like that. Max just bails out of the move, and now it's very close between the top 4 as we head towards the fast flowing S's section, which will be the undoing of many a car tonight, I would have thought, especially as they try and tackle it on worn tyres and tight behind another car. You've got to leave that extra margin in the early part of the S's so you can drive out of the last part safely towards the straight. Max with the rear wing open, of course. The rear of the car starting to get loose for Max already, and just needs to be wary not to overuse those soft tyres, as do all of our drivers here, apart from Big Bambino, who is tight behind Burmeister. He's lost out to Burmeister once, but it's Max with the first dibs at the DRS. He's got some great overspeed. This one should be easily done before the braking zone. He might even get back to the racing line. Yes, he does. Max takes the lead on lap 5 for McLaren, and very much for himself here tonight. Then Livingwall will be the first one on the defensive now, sorry, the first one to have DRS on the next run. Livingwall slightly derating already, so needs to harvest the battery. As your train of cars all together. Max, Livingwall, Doran, Tom, Martin, Foxy, Speed Queen, all together on track. Fantastic stuff to finish off our season here in the 15th race of our Invictus Racing League F1. And it's definitely all to play for tonight, and I really hope it runs like this to the end. The banter started because more than just Foxy's fan club have shown up. So I like to see it. I like to see it. Foxy's fan club definitely needs some alternate voices around sometimes. They can be a bit mono. Well, Tom is 2/10 back here from Doran, but the car in front has got DRS. Tom is starting to derate with the flashing red light, indicating he's low on battery, so it's difficult to make a pass under those circumstances. Max holds on to the lead and is starting to generate enough of a gap. If he has a successful trip through the S's, he should be able to extend beyond 1 second and deny the DRS from the car in front. But at the moment, with these top quality drivers, notwithstanding Tom trying to push the Aston Martin around turn 6, these top quality drivers all driving so close to each other's pace, it's going to be difficult to stretch any kind of a gap. I say Max is getting away here, and Tom running wide, getting another penalty. Tom going all out here tonight for track position and giving up plenty of penalties at this early stage of the race. The drivers are just coming to the end of their 6th lap on these soft tyres. Of course, the soft tyres have also done an out lap, a flying lap and an in lap at very least in qualifying. So as they start lap 7, Max has successfully got away. No, he hasn't. He temporarily was over a second, but he's still giving away DRS here down the back straight, the main straight I should say, and we head towards turn 1 from the perspective of Tom, who is the closest driver to any other in this group, but unable to take advantage. Just pressuring the driver in front to make a mistake is pretty much the only way you can do it, unless you are Livingwall and the driver in front of you doesn't have DRS. Ryan's here, and Ryan watches a lot of my streams, so he will see a lot of Matty, and is hoping Matty can recover this one. In terms of field spread, I'm pretty impressed at this early stage. We have got cars within a sector of each other. It's looking very good indeed. It's currently Max in the lead from Livingwall. Doran's just slipped back slightly from Livingwall now. Tomgo Prof is in 4th, Martin 5th. Then Foxy, Speed Queen, very close to the back of the Mercedes driver, Speed Queen. Then Burmeister is 2 seconds back. Matty's 4th back from him. And Big Bambino 10 back from him. So Big Bambino, very much a specialist of the one track this season, the previous race that he won. Here comes Tom though, with the first DRS advantage, with Doran slipping back behind Livingwall and Tomgo Prof up into P3, but with a penalty, and Max has caught a penalty as well. Out there in the lead, Max pushing hard and has already caught a penalty. So advantage Livingwall at this stage of the race, and possibly Doran as well. Big Bambino has come into the pits. I think he might have had an accident, and he needs to fix damage, because he's the first driver to pit and he's on the best tyres. So it's now Foxy hounding the back of Martin, getting through the S's successfully. Foxy looking very lively here. Very close as they head towards turn 12. Speed Queen waiting to pick up the pieces of a Foxy overtake, I imagine. But Max is still out there in the lead from Livingwall. Tomgo Prof unable to catch Livingwall at this point. And who blinks first into the pits? It's one of the Aston Martins, and it's Martin and Doran have gone into the pits, and they are attempting the undercut. Burmeister picks up a 5-second penalty for overspeeding in the pit lane. So that releases some of these drivers to have a go here. Max would be relieved to see that Livingwall didn't pit at that point, and Max could do with pitting at the same time or earlier than Livingwall to get those better tyres on. So it's definitely going to be interesting how the order changes through these pit stops. Should be a pretty strong undercut opportunity here, because the cars are all at VMAX for virtually the whole of the pit lane. Nathan is apologising for braking too late in turn 4 on lap 1. That saw him out of the race. We started with 11, we're down to 10 after 9 laps, but that will score points for everybody who brings the car home now tonight. What happens with the pit stops here as Max, let's see if he pits. No, Max gives up that option. Tom go Prof too, but Foxy's on his way in, successfully gets down to the correct speed limit, and we'll see how it all shakes out with the earliest pitters. Doran and Martin found a gap just ahead of Burmeister to pit, so they will be safe. So there's Foxy in the pits. Your new order is Max, Livingwall, Tom, and then Speed Queen up to P4. Again, as I say, Max and Speed Queen yet to score a win this season. Burmeister looking to be getting past Martin here. I think Martin might have had an error or a problem because he's on the new tyres, but Burmeister, I think, managing to undercut Martin by putting on softs. Speed Queen will pick up penalties going that far over the apex through the S's, but the tyres are getting pretty worn now. 10 laps on these softs, so they'll be feeling very difficult to handle. What does Max do here? He will not go in the pits, but Livingwall will go in the pits, as will Tom. So Max really hung out there. I hope for his sake he has managed to save enough ERS to mitigate against the outlaps of the other drivers on new tyres. But Tom picked up a 5-second penalty for running afoul of the speed limit in the pits, and it's not the first time we've seen that. So Tom gradually pushing himself out of contention tonight with penalties, unfortunately for him. Let's have a quick check on the penalty situation as things stand. 3 seconds for your race leader, 11 combined for Tom at this point, and 5 for Bert. Martin and Matty have got 6 each. So Max, is he pushing hard here? Needs to be within the capability of the tyre though. Often driving like the car's on rails. Max definitely Mr. Consistent of the season, in my opinion anyway. Apparently Foxy is throwing chicken balls around, so whatever works. Max goes by again for another lap on these soft tyres. Speed Queen elects to pit now, and then it's going to be very interesting how the order works its way out. As Speed Queen, where will she come out relative to Tom and Foxy, who she was fighting with before? Livingwall is going to get past her quite comfortably. Livingwall up to P2 now, with Doran resuming his 3rd place. Tom and Foxy, no, sorry, Tom and Doran fighting here, and Tom getting through cleanly into turn 1. Speed Queen comes out right at the back of this whole group and has put a new set of softs on. So Speed Queen going for a 2-stop strategy tonight. Soft, medium, I'm assuming, and unless everybody else is going soft, medium, soft, I think she's going to need to show a good turn of speed now, and running later than everybody else may well not have been to the advantage of that particular 2-stop strategy. Lap 13 of 36 sees Max still in the lead, yet to pit. Well, he's still not pitting. Max is really running these tyres long, very long indeed. So unless everybody else is planning to stop, you can see Max really trying to make these tyres last out here. Tom is now 1 second behind Livingwall. Martin very, very close to Speed Queen as they approach turn 1. Not quite close enough though. Might have another go into turn 4. DRS is open on the Ferrari, but Speed Queen on newer softs gets better traction out of turn 4 and should be starting to gap now the medium tyre runner. So she's got by Martin at least, so job number 1 achieved very quickly. Foxy is looking to try and overtake Burmeister, and it's another lap and another penalty from Tom. Quite sure what Tom's trying to achieve tonight, whether it's just consistently trying to get fastest lap. Max pits on lap 13 on the soft tyres later than anybody else, and that might be important later on. Maybe he's not very confident of his tyre life on the mediums. He's not needing to get many more laps out of the mediums than he got out of the softs, as it will be on his way out shortly. But Livingwall, Tom, Dora, Burmeister, Foxy all getting past Max, and he comes out of the pits just ahead of Speed Queen. He lost 5 places running that long strategy, but of course he'll be on newer tyres towards the end of the race. Foxy though now very close to the back of Burmeister, who also has DRS on the Aston Martin. Burmeister goes to the inside, moves back to the outside for the racing line, and definitely risks cutting off Foxy's braking zone there. That was close. So hopefully we'll get all of our leaders back all together again. And it looks like it worked out fine for Dora and Burmeister on the same strategy as Speed Queen, going double soft for the first 2 stints. Of course, they have to use both compounds. I'm sure no one here is new to those rules, but both 2 different compounds must be used, and everybody apart from Big Bambino started on medium soft tyres, so must use the mediums. Big Bambino is now on his 2nd set of mediums, somewhat confusingly. Burmeister then with the first DRS, clean DRS move on Doran as he goes on past safely into the braking zone. Foxy making a nuisance of himself behind Doran, but Doran not falling for it. Livingwall, Burmeister, Tom Goprof have all picked up penalties, so Tom has inherited the lead with all of his penalties. So it's working for track position as Foxy challenges Doran here into the 2nd switchback corners. That was turn 5 and 6. Speed Queen trying to tag the back of Max. That's how we get cars turning around. But Max has stayed in P6, trying to warm up these mediums. He's struggling on this lap, but he'll be better. Tom, another penalty. So we go another lap. We're not going to miss one without a Tom penalty. So currently, Max's 3-second penalty he caught earlier, looking a lot healthier now that everybody else has started to get in the game. Here we go, a 5-way battle currently here for P3 downwards. Max starting to get the car underneath him. You can see he's got better grip through the final corner. Max now getting past Doran, just using a bit of ERS, I think. Doran trying to get back towards him, and Foxy up ahead. Will he make a move? He's waiting for the 2nd DRS zone. Tom has been overtaken by Livingwall for the lead. The reason I'm not focusing on that is because I'm expecting something to happen with these guys, and also Tom has got those penalties, so it's not really much of a battle at the moment. Medium tyres for everybody. Oh, that was clumsy from Doran, and Speed Queen was very grateful that he ghosted early on, and The five-way battle becomes 4 as Doran now gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, trying to resume racing. Presumably he was trying to spin turn or something. So Livingwall, Tom, let's check in with the penalties. Foxy, the only driver so far who have not picked up a penalty. Look at Tom's penalty count, 16 laps in, and he's 17 laps of penalties accrued. Foxy going wide through that corner, but hopefully will avoid a problem there. So advantage Foxy right now, although Max looking good on these tyres that are younger than everybody else's. Super close here. Which way does he fancy going versus Foxy, who goes to the inside of Burmeister? Can Max make it 3? He's going to try and get the Alfa Romeo at least, and he does. It took a couple of corners, but Max up to P4, Foxy up to P3. Tom Prof getting past Livingwall for the kind of lead, but like I say, Tom with those penalties not going nowhere fast. Speed Queen's got past Burmeister as well, joining in the bullying of Burr as he is absolutely mullered in the first sector of the 17th lap. Approaching half distance, and Livingwall leads from Tom, then Foxy, Max, Speed Queen, Burmeister, Martin, Matty, Big Bambino, and Doran right at the back after that difficult, unfortunate, well, perhaps ill-realised launch into turn 4 there. Flying Croat saying didn't know Kvyat raced in Invictus. Where am I seeing Kvyat? Where are you getting him? Anyway, Max getting past Foxy. So Foxy now becomes the hunted. Oh, look at that, sneaking up the inside, but Max trying to go around the outside. He's not wanting to play here, and Foxy cutting the corner. Will he be told to give the place back? It may not matter, because Speed Queen trying to get both of them as they go 3 wide down the second straight. And I don't know who's going to get the advantage here. Max in the middle just about gets there, and they're organising themselves slightly here. Foxy can go wide there. He knows the track limits don't really apply on the outside of turn 6. Certainly the entry towards turn 6 anyway, but it doesn't help him as Max up to P3, Speed Queen 4th, and Foxy now right behind her. And Speed Queen will be tempted, I would imagine, to just have a look at those brakes after being accused of brake testing last time out. Foxy down to 5th at this stage, although profiting at the moment from the penalty situation of everybody else around him. So mission for Max is gain those 3 seconds back on the guys in front and get 3 seconds away from Max. Here comes Tom again as the top 2 continue to build their lead by slipstreaming down the start-finish straight lap after lap. Max will be under attack from from Speed Queen, sorry. Max around the outside. Speed Queen's got those soft tyres on. I don't know if Max has realised yet that she's on better tyres, and it might be good to stop battling with her and let her go. Concentrate on keeping Foxy behind. Let's see how Max is feeling. He's not feeling too desperate to hold on to that place. And Speed Queen around the outside gets Max. Like I say, she's got a tyre advantage, but she will have to make another pit stop for sure. Ah, I see. So Flying Croat, friend Ivan, suggesting that Doran's room was reminiscent of the Kvyat torpedo. I see. I always felt that Kvyat was hard done by after the move in China that he made, that I thought was fantastic, that everybody complained about, and then it dented his confidence, and I think got in his head for the next race. I don't know, it's just my opinion anyway. Big Bambino, 3-second penalty, and Livingwall now looking to try and get past Tom Prof, who's going to need to stop that weaving as Livingwall pulls alongside, because otherwise it's going to look like a block. Oh, they almost touch going into turn 1, but Livingwall bite. It's working at the moment if these two just concentrate on on their situation, but it looks like Tom did actually touch Livingwall and lost out as a result. So Tom, with 17 seconds of penalties, and lost all that advantage he had. He's lost some momentum against Burmeister, who goes up the inside, and Tom's demotion down to 6th is complete after trying to hang on to a place just that little bit too long. And Foxy gets a 5-second penalty. Is that for contact, or was that corner cutting? I didn't quite read it in time, concentrating on the drivers behind Burmeister and Tom. Burmeister with another 3-second penalty. It's just adding up, but Tom has got 20 out there. I don't think anybody else is going to come close. We've got our 80-second comment tonight. Number 82, kind of important in Webo land. Max P3 is now just 6/10 behind Speed Queen and trying to hold on to the back of her. I'm hearing claims of people ignoring yellows. I'm afraid I didn't see it. So Max round the outside of Speed Queen, who lets this move go, doesn't fight it too hard. They need to concentrate on staying away from Foxy, I think. Livingwall has a 3.5-second lead, and it's all even in the top 3 with penalties. Foxy's got those the 8 seconds with Burmeister, although I'm not sure whether the 5-second penalty will apply. Is that Charlie? Is that what you're telling me, that it was caught for ignoring yellows? That makes more sense now, thanks. I need to think more when I'm reading these comments. Oh no, Max and Livingwall picking up penalties at the same time, so Speed Queen gets the advantage now with less penalties than anybody else. Yeah, thanks Charlie, thanks a lot. It says that Foxy will serve his next penalty in the pits. That will hurt, I'm sure. I don't know if Max is going to try and get this one to the end of the race on those mediums. He did run those out very long, perhaps sitting there quite surprised that everybody pitted earlier than he did. Trying to now keep the gap on Speed Queen. Tom Go Prof has retired in the pits, I believe, yes. So he's done it the right way, but yeah, his race wasn't going anywhere with those penalties. So Tom out, will not score for AlphaTauri, which may cause Speed Queen a little bit of frustration. She could do with an ally in the fight and the points for AlphaTauri, so she might be having words later on. Not great for the team when you're one of the only teams in the race with 2 drivers to give up guaranteed points, or point, I suppose. Livingwall now, his lead is now 3.2 seconds as Max, Speed Queen and Foxy start to catch him, or he starts to drive to the speed of the cars behind, as of course is his prerogative now. 3-second gap is quite handy. Stretching it any further, probably a waste of time, given the likelihood of safety cars and cautions. So a nice 3-way battle here for the podium currently. Max, Speed Queen, Foxy, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, with Martin in 5th, slipping right back now, 7.5 seconds back. Matty 19 seconds back from him. Then Burmeister, Big Bambino, M. Dorman. It's lap 23, we've got 13 to go. Is it time for Speed Queen to make a move on Max? It is. So hopefully Max won't fight this too hard. Yeah, in fact he would just sort of waited for Speed Queen to come up the inside, and she wasn't entirely certain he was going to leave that room, so a little bit of indecision will cost them time against Foxy. Speed Queen with a 2nd bout of DRS, so not great for Max there, who can't fight back. Down into the business end of the race here. So those penalties are really going to be important. Matty's put fresh softs on for 13 laps to the end of the race, which, well, Max certainly proved it's possible, but it's not comfortable out there. So we'll see what they decide to do. Once they get down to about 10 laps to go, it will be a good time to pit if they have to. Although, of course, Speed Queen burning through those softs should pit at the minute her lap times start to drop off. In fact, she's doing it right now. There we go. So Speed Queen, the first of the leaders to 2nd stop. do think Max might be going for the whole race on one stop, if he can. Foxy now starting to chase Max, and it's just a two-way battle. The gap to Livingwall pretty consistent. I do think Livingwall is driving it in to the delta time, and Foxy picks up another penalty. It's going to be hell to pay in the Foxy fan club, I think, for catching 11 seconds at this point on lap 24. It's very normal to see Max get through a race completely clean. It just shows with even our F1 drivers struggling to get round this Mexico track. The track limits are so harsh here, but the advantage for running offline is so great. So I suppose it's fair cop, really. The lines are painted white for a reason. Yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's Matty having an issue down there in the exit of turn 3. It looks like he's back running though. Top 3 refused the pit lane again on lap 25. A reminder then of the tyre lap age. It's Max on the youngest mediums, possibly trying for a one-stopper. But a two-stopper is the strategy of the day for most drivers here. Speed Queen has made that second stop, and now be focusing on catching these guys in front as much as possible, closing down that gap to the leader. So I think that's going to be the interesting thing to be looking at here. So Speed Queen 23 seconds behind the leader at the moment, who may need to pit again. Got penalties, 6 seconds each for the two at the front, 11 for Foxy, 9 for Martin, 3 for Speed Queen of Burmeister, on the lowest penalised drivers so far in this race. Martin, another one caught there. So Speed Queen has gained half a second on this outlap to the leader. And Livingwall pits on lap 26 with 10 to go. That's what we were predicting. 10 laps to go is a good time to put softs on if you have to. So Foxy and Max out there in front, and I do think Max might now think, well, if I wasn't going to one stop, maybe I ought to, because Speed Queen's a long way back from the order. Martin pits as well. Livingwall has managed to find that gap in front of Speed Queen. That's going to hurt. So Livingwall has put the softs on for this final stint. Just over 9 laps to run. And this one, remember, if you've got questions for our podium, make sure you let me know before the chat, before they join us for a press conference, if we can manage it, if the drivers are in a good mood. Even if they're not, frankly, but if they're able to converse coherently, I should say. Speed Queen often needs a cup of tea to calm down. We found that one out. I wonder if she'll give us any strategy tips away as to her tyre life or what have we towards now that the season is done. Probably not. So Max up there with Foxy out in front, some 16 seconds away from Livingwall, who's got a long 10 laps to catch that amount of time. He should do it quickly to start with. Speed Queen has caught is catching the leaders quickly as well. She's now 18 seconds off the lead. So I think Max is going to be forced into a one-stopper here. Of course, his tyre conservation was better than anybody else on the softs. Will it hold true on the mediums? He's had to do less fighting out here. And yeah, prediction that Foxy will be trying to go to the end, and obviously if Foxy can make it to the end, then you can be sure that Max can. I think these two will probably just have to drive within themselves and not take too many risks. Try not to flat spot the tyre. Half a second still separates the top two on lap 27. And Foxy struggling to get to the apex there. Is that an indication that these tyres are gone? If you're going to make a stop, you're going to have to do it now. Yeah, there we go. That was the indication Foxy needed. And unfortunately, he gets another penalty. And wow, 16 seconds, some of which will be paid for now. So Max will have a nice, clear run to the end of this race. He's got virtually the length of the pit straight for Livingwall to catch him. It's 15 seconds now with 8 laps to run. Speed Queen up onto the podium in P3, potentially P2 if she can stay those 3 seconds within Livingwall's time and keep the penalties to a minimum. That's really the difficulty for Max now, is just being focused and just racing. He's just racing himself here really, and the white lines on the edge of the track. And he comes very close there. Hopefully that's enough of a warning that he needs to stay away from those track limits. You can give up half a second to a second a lap here and still be comfortably in the lead. So just looking at that delta to the car behind, that's his target. Speed Queen now within 18 seconds of the leader. But Max on lap 29, as it becomes now, still has the lead from Livingwall. Speed Queen, who's dropped a few seconds back from Livingwall. She was a bit closer than that, so I wonder if something happened. Burmeister and Martin are racing hard with each other. Martin with a lot more penalties, but Burmeister is well within range of Fox's finishing time after penalties, but Martin's going to breeze by him here, I think. Emmy is saying, what was Max's strategy? Yeah, he's gone for a one stop. He ran the tyres, I think, to the soft tyres. I think he ran them to lap 14. Did I get that right? Yeah, lap 14 Max went on soft tyres, Emir, and he's going for a one stop strategy. Martin just getting on the edge of those track limits yet again. Livingwall's dropped the gap to 12 seconds, but there's one less lap to fight it. Amir says that's his plan. Well, don't give it away. Someone from your league could also be watching for exactly the same reason, to find out the strategies. So, or maybe you're bluffing us anyway. 90 comments, nice one, guys. Let's reach 100, and let's make sure we get to at least 15 likes on the video before the day is done. I think there's going to be some drama at the end of this one, but there's a moment of calm before that happens, where you could just quickly exit the live chat and press the like button. It's not too difficult. Emir just obviously tracking Max's strategy carefully here. Let's see how he does it, whether it works. 11 seconds Max's lead. Currently, I think the Aston Martin he's just with on track is actually Doran that he's just put a lap on, so I'd worried that Max made a mistake there, but no. So Foxy's paid some of those. Foxy's paid for some of those penalties. He's still got 11 though, that will be taken at the end of the race and added to his overall race time. Matty, the next target for Max to lap, but I don't think that's going to happen. Doran did have a bit of a dive bomb and some damage to fix, which is why he's as low as he is. After starting on the front row, to get lapped will not feel good for the Aston Martin driver, and it won't do the Aston Martin team any good in their battle for points positions overall at the end of this one. Charlie says Fox's target is Speed Queen. Well, yeah, certainly hit that target last week, didn't he? Foxy with the fastest lap. I think that's realistically all that they're doing, all he can fight for now. I don't think he's going to get Speed Queen, especially with the penalty difference. Let's have a quick look at fastest lap. It's a 16.8 for Foxy, with Martin very close to that time as well. Foxy on the newest softs though, so he's got He's got the tools available to him to hold on to this one. And the fastest lap is being appreciated at least. So the lead now down to 9 seconds for Max, who's on equal penalties with Livingwall, but it's 16 seconds to Speed Queen, who isn't really showing the kind of pace she needs to stay in touch with the podium runners, with the top 2 at all here. Her pace has really dropped off relative to Livingwall's at this point. Livingwall hasn't given up on trying to get to Max, I think. 6 to go, 8.5 seconds his target. Can he see him? Yes, he can see him up at, no, that's his teammate up ahead, who might help him with a tow at least one of these straights if he's awake to the differences. A little bit difficult for the drivers to see who is coming up behind them though. Of course they'll get blue flags. Doran. The car's ghost for the drivers anyway, but the aero disruption remains from the back of their cars. So through the fast corners, drivers still want ghosted back markers to get out of their way. Quite apart from anything else, it's incredibly distracting for them. Like, watch this going through the S's. That's got to hurt. That's going to be difficult for Livingwall, but he deals with it like a pro. 8 seconds. He did lose quite a bit following his teammate there, so there might be words had in the debrief to ask Doran to be a little bit more awake to the situation. Foxy's got within 2 seconds of Speed Queen on the road at least, but like I say, bear in mind those penalties causing issues for Foxy. Livingwall continues to catch Max, but at a slower rate, at least by my eye at this point. 3 laps to go for Max, and can he Perez his way to victory in Mexico with Perez style driving? Not claiming that Perez has won in Mexico, of course. We still live in hope for that day. If you've got the stomach to take on another season of racing after the one we've just had and the way it just ended. Foxy, 14 seconds of penalties now. So yeah, obviously pushing hard for that to secure that fastest lap. I don't think Max will be trying anything silly from his position in the lead there. Three to go for Max, and 6.5 seconds is his lead. And there's comment 99. Good stuff, guys. Very good. We're predicting some carnage for these two on track. Man, I hope not. The first comment I saw in the drivers' room chat when I got back to Discord this week, just before the race, was still the two of them arguing. So if they do have another issue, expect it to last all off season. Here comes Foxy though. DRS. Speed Queen isn't fighting it too much to the inside. Oh, okay. Foxy taking a bit of a Max Verstappen line through the corner, completely ignoring the apex and aiming for the exit curb instead. Just rubbing wheels with Speed Queen, making his opinion felt on track, I think, with car body language there. Scott says he wants to see big DNFs. Okay. Well, Speed Queen will get by Foxy comfortably on the penalty count back. I don't think it's possible for her to equal him at this point. Maybe she got a drive through or something, but I don't know how's she feeling, because she's very close behind him, as if she's going to challenge back. She doesn't need to. She goes around the outside, and Foxy closes off her braking zone, puts the squeeze on, just making her back out that tiny bit early. And I think she's hungry for some revenge out here on the next lap round. It's going to be difficult for Foxy to fight her off. Insert your own jokes about how experienced or otherwise Foxy is at fighting off the ladies. Speed Queen around the outside gives him a little bit back. of what he had before, but he's not interested in being overtaken around the outside. Defends to the inside, keeps it on track, and successful defense this time at least. We've got the ghosted car ahead. It's M. Doran, and Speed Queen doesn't need to be battling with Foxy here at all. Max is about to start his final lap with 4 seconds his advantage on these old medium tyres, running a 1-stop through the race and gunning for his first win of the season as well. Foxy will drop back here. His only solace will be the fact that, don't put it there, Speed Queen, please. Oh, wow. His only solace, Foxy, will be that Martin behind him and Speed Queen has got more penalties than even he's managed tonight. Speed Queen making up all kinds of racing lines, new lines here against Foxy. So Speed Queen will get DRS again, but so does Foxy, crucially, on M. Doran's car in front, completely neutralizing. Oh dear, come on, let's not do this. That was very, very clumsy from all concerned, frankly. Expecting M. Doran's car to disappear with the DRS, and well, I think it's a bit difficult for me to call anything on that one. Both Speed Queen and Foxy coming to an almost dead stop there as they're fighting on track. I don't feel like Speed Queen needed to be doing it, but neither did Foxy, I suppose, with all the penalties either. But anyway, let's concentrate on Max, because Max comes through the stadium. The fireworks are going off already, and well, they should. Max, it's taken 15 races, but he's finally won in F1. He wins in Mexico on a one-stopping strategy. Masterful display from Max, and Mr. Consistency has turned around a win finally in our season. Livingwall coming second, very nice indeed. Speed Queen with the lowest amount of penalties on the track gets that third place on the road, at least provisional result, I should say. Big Bambino got all the way to the final lap and has DNF'd. Burmeister gets fourth for Alfa Romeo, and Foxy has to live with fifth place. Martin, sixth place on a similar amount of penalties as Foxy, so they join each other there, and it looks like it's going to be Matty who will bring the car home in seventh, the final finisher on the lead lap. Fastest lap will go to Foxy, down in fifth place. Max was trying to get that second place in the championship from McLaren as well. I don't know if he's managed it. We'll see what the stewards make of the situation as Matty brings the car home in seventh place. Brilliant finish to the race there. Absolutely loved it to see. And let's see if our guys are happy for a podium interview. There goes Max. I'm very, very happy for Max, who has worked so hard all season long. 15 weeks of racing, and he finally gets a win on his last attempt. Livingwall with a brilliant second place as well. Take nothing away from that. Yeah, Max with a brilliant victory finally in the F1 season that we've been enjoying. Do let me have your podium questions if possible. I'll try and get hold of our guys. Max is usually pretty up for it. Max wins then in Mexico from Livingwall in the Aston Martin. Speed Queen, a little bit of controversy getting a podium position there. Then Burmeister in fourth without Abby around, and I don't know if she'll be sad to have missed that fourth place for Bert. Then Foxy, Martin, Matty were your lead lap finishes. Big Bambino classified ahead of M. Doran despite that DNF on the final lap. M. Doran in ninth finished a lap down. Tomgo Prof and Nathan out of the race earlier on, and Foxy Red got the fastest lap of the evening. I'm going to do my best to get hold of the podium drivers. Don't go anywhere, and I will try and get them into our party if possible. So let's see what I can do. The stream hasn't ended while the blue PlayStation smiley faces bob around. Let me see if I can get hold of them and who I can get in. Livingwall can't make it, unfortunately. Hate to say that. It looks like Max is going to make it, and I hope I can get Speed Queen as well. I'd rather not deal with Foxy and Speed Queen on the same call, if all of you don't mind. But yeah, we'll try and get hold of Speed Queen. Give me a second, and we'll get there. If you're just about to join us on the podium interviews, please make sure your broadcast audio settings are set to share, if possible. But it looks like Max is about with us. So, Max, I'm so happy for you. I was desperate for you to get a win this year because you've really deserved it, and you did it right on the last race. Congratulations.
Well, thanks. Can you hear me first, because it's a new microphone, so I don't know. Yes, it's okay.
I can hear you well. The guys in the stream will let me know if they can't hear you. But yeah, fantastic. Really pleased for you.
Yeah, what can I say? I mean, last race of the season, and finally to get that victory after like a crazy race with a lot of battle, a huge fight with like distant fight with Livingwall in the end, because I wasn't sure about the strategy, but my initial strategy was the good one. So I'm so pleased, and to do this at the last race of the season, I don't know, it's something special. So yeah, this is really great. I'm so glad.
Yeah, something special. It definitely was. How were those tires feeling at the end?
Well, actually, kind of okay. I tried not to look the tire wear because it's like as we say in French, like a déni. You know, I don't want to see the tire wear. So, but I think like with the 2 laps remaining, accidentally I saw the tire wear, and it was like 65% or something like that. but Livingwall was like 4 seconds behind, so I was okay with that. But yeah, it was a good call. Really, I hesitate a bit when Livingwall went in the pit for the first time, but it was the right call. So.
Yeah, it looks like it, and we've had one of the PC drivers tuning in today. Emir has been tuning in just to find out the best strategy, and he says he likes your strategy. He's going to go with it later in the week.
Yeah, and actually, I'm quite surprised to be the I think the only driver to have tried this one-stop strategy. And yeah, I think this was a good one. Well, I won, so I guess it was a good one. Yes.
Definitely, you still had a 4-second lead on the final lap against Livingwall, so you made it work. At one point, I felt like Livingwall was managing his gap to the rest of the field, and I wonder if he'd have just gone a little bit heavier and a little bit faster at that stage, whether he would have been closer to you at the end.
Yeah, well, we don't know. Maybe he just let me win because he's a kind guy. So I don't know. I don't know. You have to ask the question to him directly.
I'm sure that's not the case. He's a racing driver after all. But yeah, you've done some amazing drives this year. But to finish it with a win must be really sweet and a great way to go into the off season.
Yeah, I will spend like great holidays now because of that victory. That's for sure. And this season was I was new to the championship. I didn't know what to expect, but it was just great. Really, all races were really good. I like the atmosphere of this league, so I'm glad you can count on me for next year. That's for sure.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we've really enjoyed watching your journey from consistent podium finishes, consistent point finishes to finally getting that victory. So bravo, Max, bravo.
Yeah, and thanks. I want to mention you as well because you were doing like really great with the commentaries through the season. So thanks for that. It was always a pleasure to watch the replay of the races.
Oh, fantastic! No, I appreciate that very much, and yeah, it's been a great season, both of us in our first seasons for IRL. So long may that continue. Thanks, Max. Really well done, and have a great break, and enjoy your practice for the next season.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Max. I think Foxy joined us. Foxy, how did that all go? Your friends are all here in the chat. I think they've stayed tuning in to listen to your to your interview. Thankfully, we haven't had Speed Queen show up, so it won't get too rough.
I was hoping she would join us. I thought that would be quite entertaining.
So, how was your race? It looked frenetic and difficult, and you were falling foul of those track limits all the way through.
Yeah, it was all right until Tom spun off.
Yeah.
He spun off, and then I got an illegal overtake, which then gave me a 5-second stop go, which I had to serve. And then I sped into the pit lane by 0 miles an hour, so I got another one. So at the end, I just stopped caring. I was like, right, I want to race and I want to catch Speed Queen. And yeah, it was. I hope I made the last race of the season exciting for you.
Yes, it was certainly exciting. James Walsh, I don't know if you know him. He's just said you didn't do very well, Fox. So
yeah, well, I don't know. I think I did all right. He can't drive anyway, so
we had all sorts of fun going on in the chat. We had accusations that you'd been throwing chicken balls around.
Oh, so, right, let me tell you, I've got a Christmas party going on downstairs, and I've said to them all, right, I'm sorry, guys, but I've got a race. It's race night. So we've all ordered a Chinese, and mine all arrived at the start of the race. So mine is probably really cold now. But, yeah, I'm going to bum down and eat that. Yeah. I hope my chicken balls are still, like, you know, clean.
Clean.
If they've been throwing them around.
Not salmonella. Yeah, hopefully you'll be okay with that.
Yeah, bloody hope so.
I don't think you're going to find any food left by the time you get down there.
Well, if there's no food left, they can pay for it. I know they're listening as well, which makes it better.
Yeah, so how did you see that situation right at the end? I know that it looked like there was a little bit of niggle starting between you and Speed Queen before the major incident. You gave her a little wheel rub as you passed her into turn one, and sort of left the apex by quite some margin. And then the next lap round, she went to return the favour, and it all seemed to go wrong from there on.
Yeah, I thought, well, I'm on these brand new softs, and you know, I mean, I've raced Speed Queen for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed our little rivalry. And I thought, wouldn't it be a massive shame to just drive off into the distance and just wave goodbye to Speed Queen? So I just thought, you know, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to give her a chance. I'm going to let her try and beat me. But unfortunately, Speed Queen decided that the only way to get past me was to destroy my car, to just drive in and just turn left at turn one. So it was a shame, but like I enjoyed it. I didn't mind.
You didn't have a race left to really run, did you, at that point?
I mean, yeah, the penalties didn't help. So yeah, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a bit of fun. So yeah, she decided to take me out, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure the stewards will have a look at it, but I won't submit it. You know, it's not really that important to me. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope she's okay. I hope she gets a nice cup of tea with a nice digestive to cool her down. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always have the cup of tea comments. She hasn't joined us for the podium, so I'm sure that's what she's enjoying right now. I doubt she's got what appears to be the scraps of an unclean Chinese takeaway left. Martha just updating us there. It looks like hell of a party because they're all sat there watching you on YouTube.
Yeah, how bloody boring. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no offense, Craig. I mean, like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble now. But yeah, I don't know. I think they should have all really, you know, come together and thought, right, what can we do? Like, the race is on, but like, I hope they've done something instead of just, you know, watching cars spread out, driving around.
Well, congrats anyway for a strong season. You've had lots of points finishes.
Did I secure P2 in the constructors and the drivers?
You've definitely got drivers, and I'm
Nice.
fairly confident that you just held on after Max won. But he still needed to put, I think, 13 points on you.
Yeah.
On the team, and I think you've just held on to second.
Yeah, big shout out to Liam then if we got second. He did. I know the 7 points weren't quite whatever I've got, but it contributed for sure. So big up Liam.
Definitely. Well, that's good to hear. So a good strong season. Perhaps didn't finish the way you wanted, but you'll be back for more next time.
Well, the thing is, I've been here for a very long time, and I've enjoyed it. Like, I really have. I've been here like 4 years, but I think it's time I stepped away from Invictus. Now I know that's gonna like all the views are gonna go because like I've been told I've been told that like all the views are just here to tune into me. The comments like prove that, but I'm gonna step away because I miss racing my friends. I miss racing other Invictus legends that have been here before.
Yeah.
And I'd like to race with them again, so I'm going to step away. Maybe forever, maybe, I don't know. I think Craig will see me in the inbox if I want to come back, and I hope he lets me through. Craig, thanks. But yeah, I'm going to step away, let these guys not fear the Red Fox anymore, so I'm going to race with my friends.
Well, yeah.
I'm really sorry to you as well, because I know you looked forward to talking to me at the end, so...
Absolutely. Well, the Birmingham accent just reminds me of Nigel Mansell. So
yeah, brilliant.
I definitely enjoy that.
Everyone loves it.
That sense,
especially Charlie Harris.
You don't moan quite as much as Nigel used to, but.
Yeah, I mean, well, you should talk to some of my friends. I mean, if I'm on the team radio or whatever, they would say I do moan. So. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you're much better in the press box than Nigel ever was, I guess. Thank
you very much.
Well, yeah, I'm sure if you don't manage to come back to us or don't manage to bring your friends back, you'll be sorely missed. Perhaps not from the stewards who might want an easier time of it without you around.
I'll tell you what, if Craig lets Scott Bugner and Charlie Harris and all the rest of them back, then I'll be back. Trust me, that's a deal. Craig, I hope you're listening. If you bring them back, it'll big up the grid. There'll be brilliant drivers. It'll be Invictus again. So if you bring them back, I'll be back. It'll be brilliant. And it's what everyone wants to see, I'm sure. So.
Okay. Well, the last word I'm going to just mention is that James says, "What friends?"
What friends? It's funny that he can get out of my house if he wants. He's downstairs. Yeah.
Oh, and there were also lots of comments about how bad your room smells, but I can't possibly verify that.
It is what it is. I mean. To me, I smell nothing, and I live here, so I don't care. But if someone comes in and they smell a bad smell, then that's their issue, not mine. I'm the king of this little room, so.
And you've made Harry Banks very sad because you didn't mention him.
sorry. I'm really sorry, Harry. Oh my god. You know what? Yeah, sure, Harry gets a shout out, but Gareth as well. I think Gareth, if he come back as well, I could go on forever, like the amount of people I've met over the years and raced against, I could literally go on for so many different drivers. Gareth and Sab, get them back here, the very iconic duo. Yeah, so many. I could really go on forever. Yeah. Oh, and Tom Shaw, can't forget him.
Righto. Well, we probably name checked everybody you possibly can now. Let's just say it has been a very enjoyable and entertaining season with you, and I hope we can cross paths again at some point.
For sure.
But yeah, thanks for the driving. Thanks for, more importantly, the interviews. I was asked to make some nominations for some commentator awards at the end. I won't spoil it by revealing anything, but I would say that. Interviewee was one of those awards. So
hell yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I might not win the Drivers' Championship, but that is a bigger thing for me for sure. Hell yeah.
Well, thanks a lot. I better close the stream off, otherwise I'll be in trouble. But yeah, thanks a lot for that, Foxy. And I must also say a big thank you to our sponsors. One more time, it's GT Omega, Nailcut Hall, Gridfinder.com, and Driver61, without whom we wouldn't all be here doing this. Thanks to everybody for the live chat and for keeping me entertained while I'm on my own here in the commentary box. Like the video before you disappear on us. Remember to follow us on socials, and if you do want to book me as a commentator, drop me a line on Twitter at WebberRed5. But all being well, guys, we'll see you all next season. But whatever happens, I will catch you on the next race day.